At a time when wickedness was great in the world, so too was the response. I'm watching the Noah preview trailer. I like Russell Crowe.
What did he say?
What did he
He's
say?
going to destroy the world. Can it not be averted?
Man corrupted this world and filled it with violence.
I love Anthony Hopkins. And I love Russell Crowe. This just so makes me angry. Why can't we have more movies like Hotel Rwanda? I just watched that the other day. That's an awesome movie. It's a sad movie, but it's a movie that reminds me of Schindler's List. It's about a guy who saves a bunch of people from genocide, you know? Here we have somebody who doesn't save anybody from genocide except for his family. He ignores everybody else. And he doesn't save all the animals. He only saves some of the animals. And I mean, for that reason it angers me. It's like, why are you wasting film on a story this hideous? You know, why are you wasting... Unless, I mean, I don't know. I love end of the world kind of stories in general. I love apocalypse kind of stories. But I don't intend to watch this movie. I don't intend to go to the theater and pay money. I don't intend to buy or rent the DVD. Even though these actors I really like. Jennifer Connelly, she's awesome. But it angers me. First of all, I don't think it's wonderful to glorify a genocidal monster, which I think the story of Noah does. It's basically saying, you know, God is destroying everybody because they're wicked. No, God made them wicked. God made them that way, deliberately made them that way before they were born. Because he wanted to destroy them. Destroying them was part of his plan. Mass genocide was part of his plan. You know, he made them evil. He knew that he made them knowing ahead of time they would be evil. He made them to fulfill that purpose. Anyway, my cat wants to go out, so I'll be back. The thing I don't like about the idea of putting this story out is it's promoting a lie. It's promoting a lie that I think is a bad thing. It's you know, it's endorsing or what's the word I'm trying for? I don't know. To me, little kids. I can't think of the word. It's just gonna make more little kids think that this really happened, that it's real history, that the Bible is real history. I think we have enough of that already. We don't need more of that. This is not real history. There's no evidence for the flood. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that plant life can survive under the water all that time. The salt water and fresh water would mix, and then all the sea life would die. You know, where would the sea life just come back magically, or did Noah have giant fish tanks in his ark? Did he have whales in his ark? I mean, really. and I'm sorry, but a meager little family would not have the wherewithal to feed and take care of all those animals. Did God have angels on the ark helping? Did the poo just magically, and pee, whatever, just magically disappear after the animals, you know? I'd like to know. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And now they're saying that, I've read this recent thing about how a wooden boat as large as this one was supposed to have been would not have been able to float. It would not have been seaworthy. So yeah, to me it's just like, it's okay, so it's a myth. So can I look at it like it's a myth and watch it? Oh, isn't this fun? We're watching a myth. Like, you know, kind of like along the lines of watching a movie about Hercules, you know? Which I could watch and actually be entertained by it. But this, to me, it's like glorifying evil. Glorifying this evil, hideous being that, Christians think is just wonderful and loving. I read about how, I saw a review about this movie may make some Christians cringe. Good. I hope it does. I hope when the water rises, and the ark starts to cut through the path of floating bodies, bloated floating bodies, it brings back memories of the pictures of the 2004 tsunami and all the bodies in the water and on the shore. That's what I want to see. I want to see the ark, majestically starting to sail toward the setting sun, and you see all the bodies. Maybe some of them still clinging to the ark, still feebly pounding on the outside of the hull. And this guy who doesn't save any of them. Oh, but he couldn't because God sealed the door shut. Yeah, what a lovely God. I'm sorry, but I get angry about this story because I have a good imagination. And I know that if I had been put in that place, I would not have allowed myself to be in that place. I would be like, excuse me? You want me to do what? You want me to not try to save any of my neighbors? I'm sorry, but the land was just so wicked that even the babies and the fetuses should die. Really? What's wicked about the story of Noah is the evil God that would do this. And I'm sorry, but if he's all-knowing, again, he would know ahead of time these people would be wicked when he made them. And it would be part of his plan. His divine plan would be to, at this point, what's my to-do list today? Drown the planet. Well, we can't really justify doing that unless we have a bunch of evil, wicked people on the planet. So before we get to that to-do list, or to that part of the to-do list, we have to first make a bunch of evil people and put them on the planet. And then the Christians are going to say, oh, well, that wasn't God who did that. That was Satan. Satan made those people evil. Those people followed Satan. You got to blame Satan for all that evilness. God made Satan. God knew ahead of time what Satan would do on the earth. Everything that Satan does and did on the earth is all part of God's divine plan, including making all these people evil so he could destroy them, because God's purpose was to destroy everything on the planet. Couldn't just make people who weren't evil. Couldn't just not make Satan, because he could have chose to not make Satan before he ever made Lucifer. He could have said, this angel's going to be really bad. He's going to become Satan, and he's going to make a whole bunch of people evil, and then I'm going to have to kill all these innocent lives that were made evil by Satan. He could have just said, you know what? I think I'll just not make Lucifer. Just not make Lucifer. So, no, I don't think you can blame Satan for the wicked people. I blame God for making Satan. I blame God for making wicked people. I blame God for knowing ahead of time, in both cases, what he was doing. He's a genocidal monster. He gets off on torturing his animals. That's what he does. His pets. Humans are like little kid going outside to an anthill and picking up an ant and pulling its legs off. That's what this God is like with the humans on the planet Earth. He gets off on torturing them. Look what he does to Job. So no, I think he's evil, and I don't like movies that glorify him and paint him to be this wonderful being when he's capable of this much evil and cruelty and malice. I'm sure it's well acted. I'm sure it's visually awesome. I'm sure that, if it wasn't for this, I would probably enjoy the film. But because of what it represents, if someone comes back to me and says, Diane, you really need to see Noah because it makes God look like a genocidal bastard, and Noah a drunkard because that's what he was. Or you know what? I just had a thought. Maybe Noah wasn't a drunkard before the flood. For sure he was after the flood, and maybe That's what happens to a nice, decent, righteous person who has to listen to the cries for help of thousands of people beating on the outside of a boat that he's inside safe and sound, and not be able to open the door and help them. So maybe God destroyed Noah too, you know. Maybe in the end, Noah was just another victim of this nasty, evil, wicked God. I don't know. But yeah, if somebody said to me, Diane, this movie does paint the atrocity out to be what it was. You know, that's what I want. I want people to look at this movie and say, holy shit, look at all those people who are dying. Let's have close-ups of little babies drowning. Let's have close-ups of pregnant mothers clinging to trees, you know, as the force of the water is ripping the clothes from their bodies. Let's have scenes like that, you know, and then maybe I would say the movie's worthwhile if we could actually show the mass genocide that God does, you know. And oh, can we also have animals drowning in, you know, animals are not wicked, but how many animals, innocent lives, are killed just because, you know, we can only have so many of these animals in the boat? So yeah, I think it's a hideous story. One article I read called it a beloved, one of the most beloved stories. Really? I think it's hideous. I think the whole story is just hideous. And it makes me sad that little children are going to watch this bullshit, and it's going to affirm, I think that's the word I was trying for earlier, affirm in their little brains that this is really true and that this really happened, and yuck. Yeah, so anyway, killing for God, killing in the name of God. Yay, God. Sorry. I'm sorry that I can't see the movie. I think I would like to, just because I like the actors. And I like this kind of movie, but I think I would just get really angry. I think I would be very loud in the audience, and I'd disturb other people, and I would just be made very angry by this movie. So this is my review of a movie that I will never see. Unless, again, as I said before, somebody tells me that this shows God for the monster that he is. Anyway, if you've been watching, thanks. Bye.
I am a unicorn. I am a unicorn. I am a unicorn. I'm a unicorn. I'm a unicorn.